90% of car owners have no idea these tricks could save them thousands in mechanic visits. But here's the twist. One of these tricks could eliminate all car issues yourself easily. And mechanics definitely don't want you knowing these shortcuts actually work. Before you start wasting money on expensive repairs, here's 17 little-known car tricks only experienced drivers know about. Don't skip, it'll save you a lot of money. Let's start now with trick number 17, Vaseline on rubber seals. Starting strong with something that'll make you question everything about car maintenance. Door seals cracking and leaking water into your car. Your bathroom cabinet has been laughing at you this whole time. Most drivers ignore their rubber seals until they fail completely. But here's what experienced drivers know. Grab a jar of petroleum jelly and apply a thin coat to all your door and window seals every few months. Just wipe it on with a cloth, paying special attention to weather stripping. The Vaseline keeps the rubber soft, prevents cracking, and stops seals from freezing shut in winter. This costs about $3 and takes 10 minutes twice a year. Compare that to $200 to $400 to replace dried-out weather stripping at the dealership. But here's what they don't tell you. Rubber maintenance is the most overlooked aspect of car care, and it's literally the barrier between you and water leaks, wind noise, and rust formation. The petroleum jelly penetrates the rubber and restores flexibility that UV rays and temperature extremes destroy over time. Seriously, how have you been driving without knowing this? This next one will 100% shock you. Trick number 16, water bottle theft deterrent in wheel. Ever heard of the water bottle car theft trick? Here's the truth, criminals don't want you knowing. Thieves place a water bottle in your wheel, well as a marker. It falls out when you drive, making noise that gets you to stop and check. That's when they strike, stealing your car or belongings while you're distracted. But experienced drivers check their wheel wells before getting in, especially in parking lots. Run your hand along the inside of each wheel well. Feel something that shouldn't be there. It's probably a marking technique. This takes 10 seconds and could prevent a carjacking. But here's the kicker. This method also works in reverse for leak detection. Some mechanics place water bottles near suspect areas to catch dripping fluids. If you find a bottle you didn't place, remove it and stay alert. Who knew a water bottle could be both a tool and a threat? This next one will 100% shock you. Trick number 15. Apply cooking spray to bumper before bug season. Summer road trips are beautiful until your front bumper becomes a bug cemetery that's impossible to clean. Here's the truth. You've been doing this the hard way. All you need is cooking spray from your kitchen. Before bug season hits, typically April through September, spray a light coat of PAM or whatever you've got on your front bumper, hood edge, and grille. The oil creates a non-stick barrier that prevents bug guts from bonding to your paint. When you wash your car, bugs slide right off instead of requiring aggressive scrubbing. This works with virtually any cooking spray because they all contain oils that repel organic material. But here's the kicker. This hack costs maybe $2 per application and lasts 2 to 3 weeks. Those aggressive bug removers contain chemicals that slowly degrade your clear coat, leading to premature fading. The cooking spray method is gentler, cheaper, and actually works better. Seriously, who's still spending money on specialty products? This next one will save you from a common tire mistake. Trick number 14. Use tire pressure from door sticker. Most drivers have zero clue they're running the wrong tire pressure. Here's the brutal truth. The PSI number on your tire sidewall is the maximum pressure the tire can handle, not the recommended pressure for your vehicle. That's the difference between optimal handling and dangerous driving. The correct pressure is on a sticker inside your driver's side door jamb. This number was calculated by engineers specifically for your car's weight and handling. Running tires at maximum sidewall pressure makes your ride harsh and causes uneven wear. But here's what they don't tell you. Check multiple vehicles, and you'll see different recommendations despite similar tires. That's because each vehicle has unique requirements. At proper pressure, you get better fuel economy, up to 3% improvement. At maximum pressure, you're sacrificing safety and comfort for absolutely no benefit. Your stopping distance, handling, and tire life all suffer. And here's the kicker. For even more accuracy, check pressure when tires are cold, meaning the car hasn't been driven for at least 3 hours. Tire pressure increases as tires heat up from driving, which can give false readings. This next one will make mechanics hate you. Trick number 13. Wipe engine bay with WD-40. Your engine bay is rusting away while you're not looking. Cold mornings, car washes, humidity. all working together to corrode metal components. Your garage has the solution sitting on a shelf. Here's what professional mechanics do to their own cars. Once or twice a year, they wipe down the engine bay with a light coat of WD-40 on metal surfaces, avoiding belts, hoses, and anything rubber. The WD in WD-40 literally stands for water displacement. It creates a moisture-repelling barrier that prevents rust on brackets, bolts, and metal housings. They use the same principle as treating door hinges, except this protects your entire engine compartment from the elements. But here's what they don't tell you. This also makes future cleaning dramatically easier because grease and grime can't bond to the protected surface. One $5 can per year keeps your engine bay looking 10 years newer and prevents components from rusting into place. Speaking of cheap fixes that work better than expensive solutions, this next one prevents a roadside nightmare. Trick number 12. Apply anti-seize on lug nuts. Nothing ruins your day faster than a flat tire with lug nuts seized onto the studs so tight they snap when you try to remove them. Here's the truth. You've been setting yourself up for disaster. When experienced drivers install wheels, they apply a thin coat of anti-seize compound to the threads, not the face, of each lug nut. This prevents corrosion welding, makes future tire changes effortless, and prevents broken wheel studs that'll cost you $100+ per corner to fix. Anti-seize compound costs about $8 for a tube that'll last years. Breaking a wheel stud on the highway and needing a tow, that's $200+ minimum. But here's the critical detail most people miss. Only apply anti-seize to the threads, never the contact face. And here's the technique that separates pros from amateurs. After applying anti-seize, torque your lug nuts to spec with a torque wrench, not an impact gun. You'll be shocked by this next one. Trick number 11. Use clear nail polish on small paint chips. That chip in your paint from a highway rock doesn't need a $500 body shop visit. It needs a trip to the cosmetics aisle. Here's what experienced drivers know. Clear nail polish contains nitrocellulose, essentially the same base component as automotive clear coat. One thin layer over a fresh paint chip creates a waterproof seal that prevents rust from forming underneath, while you save up for proper touch-up paint. For paint scratches, you can even find matching nail polish colors for temporary fixes. This isn't just creative recycling, it's legitimate chemistry working in your favor. But here's the technique that matters. Clean the chip thoroughly with rubbing alcohol first. Apply thin layers, multiple thin coats beat one thick glob, and let each layer dry completely. Speaking of cheap fixes that work better than expensive solutions, let's talk about what's hiding in your garage. Trick number 10. Keep dielectric grease for battery terminals. Battery corrosion is one of the most common reasons for no-start conditions and electrical gremlins. Here's what experienced drivers always keep in their garage. A small tube of dielectric grease, specifically for battery terminals. After cleaning your battery terminals, baking soda and water works great. Apply a thin coat of dielectric grease to both the terminal and the cable connector before reattaching. This creates a moisture barrier that prevents the white-green corrosion buildup that causes voltage drops and starting problems. A $6 tube lasts for years and dozens of applications. Compare that to the $150 service call when your car won't start in a parking lot because corrosion prevented proper electrical connection. But here's what makes this particularly genius. Dielectric grease also improves electrical conductivity by eliminating air gaps and micro-moisture between contact surfaces. Professional mechanics use this on every electrical connection they touch. Battery terminals, bulb sockets, sensor connections, because they know moisture is the enemy of automotive electrical systems. Before we get to the really mind-blowing tricks, hit that like button. We did a ton of research for this. One like will definitely help us. Thank you. We'll appreciate it. This next one will save you a lot of money. Trick number 9. Clean radiator, fins with water spray. Your radiator is working overtime to keep your engine from turning into a very expensive paperweight. But here's what most drivers never think about. The cooling fins on your radiator get clogged with bugs, leaves, dirt, and road debris, reducing cooling efficiency by up to 30%. Experienced drivers check their radiator fins twice a year and gently clean them with either compressed air from the engine side blowing outward or a gentle water spray. The key word is gentle. Those aluminum fins bend easily and bent fins don't flow air properly. This takes 10 minutes and costs nothing if you have a garden hose. The result? Your engine runs cooler, your AC works better, The AC condenser is right in front of the radiator, and you prevent overheating situations that can warp cylinder heads or blow head gaskets. But here's what dealerships don't tell you. They rarely check radiator fin condition during routine maintenance because it requires removing the front bumper cover on many modern cars. That means your radiator could be 50% blocked and nobody's mentioned it during your last 3 oil changes. This one will surprise you. Trick number 8, use graphite powder for door locks. Sticky door locks are annoying, and everyone's first instinct is to spray WD-40 or oil into the keyhole. Wrong move. Here's what locksmiths know. Oil attracts dirt and dust, which combine to form a paste that makes your lock problem worse over time. Experienced drivers use powdered graphite lubricant specifically designed for locks. Squeeze a small puff into the keyhole. Insert your key a few times to distribute it, and your lock will feel brand new. Graphite is a dry lubricant that doesn't attract contaminants. A $4 tube lasts decades because you need so little. But here's the critical difference. Oil-based lubricants eventually gum up and freeze in cold weather, which is exactly when you need your locks to work most. Graphite works in any temperature and never gets sticky. Seriously, who's still doing that? Trick number 7, wrap wiper blades in cloth. Planning to leave your car parked for weeks or months? Here's what experienced drivers do that prevents a common problem. Wrap your wiper blades in cloth or remove them entirely. When wipers sit pressed against the windshield for extended periods, the rubber develops a permanent set or memory that creates streaking when you finally use them again. The cloth barrier prevents the rubber from bonding to glass and protects it from UV damage that causes cracking. This is especially critical if you're parking outdoors where sun exposure will destroy those rubber blades in weeks. A set of quality wiper blades costs $30–50. A couple of old towels and 2 minutes of preparation, free. But here's what makes this particularly important for anyone storing a vehicle seasonally. Windshield wipers are one of those things you don't think about until the first rainstorm after storage, when you discover your blades are now useless hunks of cracked rubber smearing across your vision at highway speeds. You'd be very much shocked by this next one. Trick number 6. Use cruise control smartly. Here's something that separates fuel-efficient drivers from gas guzzlers. Cruise control mastery. On flat highways, cruise control is your best friend. It maintains constant speed more efficiently than your foot ever could, preventing the micro-accelerations and decelerations that waste fuel. Studies show proper cruise control use can improve highway fuel economy by 7 to 14%. But here's the critical detail most people miss. On hilly terrain, cruise control becomes your enemy. It will downshift and floor the throttle to maintain speed climbing hills, wasting fuel. Experienced drivers turn off cruise control before hills, allow some speed loss going up, then coast down the other side to regain momentum naturally. But here's what makes this particularly brilliant. You're essentially using physics and gravity as free energy sources instead of fighting against them with expensive gasoline. Professional hypermilers, people who maximize fuel economy, know that smart throttle management beats cruise control in anything but perfectly flat conditions. Learn when to use it and when to override it, and watch your fuel economy numbers climb. Speaking of smart automotive habits, this next electrical trick prevents frustrating bulb failures. Trick number 5. Use dielectric grease on bulb sockets. Ever replace a bulb only to have it fail again in a few months? Here's what's probably happening. Moisture and corrosion in the socket are causing voltage drops and heat buildup that kill bulbs prematurely. Experienced drivers apply a thin coat of dielectric grease to the base of every replacement bulb before installing it. This creates a moisture barrier that prevents corrosion while improving electrical contact. A bulb that should last 2–3 years will actually last that long instead of failing in 6 months. That same $6 tube of dielectric grease from Trick 10, it works here too. One tube solves multiple problems throughout your vehicle, but here's the specific technique that matters. Apply grease to the metal base of the bulb and the inside of the socket, but never to the actual electrical contact points where current transfers. You want protection around the connection, not insulation on it. This is standard practice in marine and aviation applications, where moisture is constant. But somehow, automotive owners never got the memo. Professional mechanics do this to every bulb they install, because comeback jobs for failed bulbs waste their time and damage their reputation. From clear lights to clear windows, this next climate control trick is pure genius. Trick number 4. Clearing fogged windows twice as fast. Fogged windows in winter or humidity. Everyone blasts the defroster and waits forever. Here's what experienced drivers do. Turn on defrost and air conditioning simultaneously. Wait, AC in winter? Yes. Here's why this works. The AC compressor removes moisture from the air before it hits your windshield, while the heater provides warmth. You get hot, dry air that clears fog in literally half the time compared to heat alone. Most modern cars do this automatically when you select defrost mode, but many people manually turn off the AC because they think it's wrong to run AC in cold weather. Don't override this. The system is smarter than you think. But here's the science that makes this brilliant. Fog forms when humid air contacts cold glass. Humid air plus heat just makes warm fog. Dry air plus heat actually solves the problem by reducing the moisture content that causes condensation. This is the same principle industrial dehumidifiers use. And here's the kicker. This technique works for both interior fogging and exterior frost. One method, all weather conditions, twice the speed. From convenience inside the car to convenience outside, this key fob feature is hiding in plain sight. Trick number 3, key fob for trunk release trick. Grocery shopping with your hands full is about to get easier. Here's what most drivers don't know. On many modern vehicles, pressing and holding the trunk release button on your key fob, usually 2 to 3 seconds, opens the trunk automatically without you having to touch anything. No fumbling for the release button under the trunk lid. No setting bags down. No asking strangers for help. Just hold the button and watch the trunk open itself. This feature exists on most vehicles made after 2015, but somehow nobody knows about it because they only ever tap the button quickly. But here's the specific technique. Some cars require you to stand within a certain distance, usually 3 to 6 feet, for this to work as a safety feature. And here's what makes this particularly useful. Loading a screaming toddler, carrying packages, or helping elderly parents becomes dramatically easier when you don't need a free hand to pop the trunk. It's one of those quality of life features that once you start using it, you can't imagine life without it. This simple trick turns every grocery trip into a one-handed operation. But here's what they don't tell you. Many vehicles also have a kick sensor under the rear bumper that opens the trunk hands-free. Wave your foot under the center of the bumper in a kicking motion, and the trunk pops open automatically as long as your key fob is in your pocket or bag. This works using proximity sensors that detect movement combined with your key fob signal. It's the same technology used in automatic sliding doors, just repurposed for your trunk. The sensor only activates when it detects both the key fob nearby and the specific kicking motion, preventing random trunk openings. But here's the catch. You need to kick directly under the bumper's center, not off to the side. Some people look ridiculous waving their foot around trying to find the sweet spot. Once you nail the location though, it becomes second nature. And here's the bonus. This feature is waterproof and works even in rain, snow, or when the bumper is dirty. Car manufacturers designed it specifically for situations where your hands are completely full and you can't reach for your key fob or press any buttons. Speaking of simple features that somehow nobody knows about, this dashboard arrow has been there the whole time. Trick number 2, fueling dashboard trick. Here's a trick so simple, it'll make you feel ridiculous for not knowing it sooner. You pull into a gas station in a rental car or borrowed vehicle, and suddenly you're playing, which side is the fuel door on? Roulette. Stop guessing. Look at your fuel gauge. See that little arrow next to the gas pump icon? That arrow points to the side your fuel door is on. Left arrow? Driver's side. Right arrow? Passenger side. This tiny feature has been industry standard since the 90s, yet somehow people still pull up to the wrong side like it's a coin flip. And here's the kicker. This was added specifically because too many drivers kept asking dealerships which side their tank was on. But here's what makes this particularly useful. In unfamiliar vehicles, in the dark, in the rain, when you're exhausted from a long drive, that little arrow eliminates one more decision point and potential embarrassment. No more awkward repositioning at the pump while everyone watches. Just check the arrow, pull up confidently, and fuel up like you've owned the car for years. But here's what they don't tell you. If your car doesn't have an arrow, the side of the fuel gauge where the pump handle is positioned indicates your fuel door side. Pump handle icon on the left of the gauge, your fuel door is on the left. Handle on the right, fuel door is on the right. This backup method works on older vehicles from the 80s and early 90s before the arrow became standardized. Automotive designers intentionally positioned the pump icon this way as a visual cue, but it's so subtle that 99% of drivers never notice the pattern. But here's the catch. This trick only works if you're looking at a properly designed gauge cluster. Some cheaper or older imported vehicles didn't follow this convention, so the arrow method is always more reliable when available. And here's the bonus. Once you know this trick, you'll never waste time circling gas stations looking for which side to approach from. You'll pull up correctly on the first try every single time, even in rental cars or borrowed vehicles you've never driven before. And finally, the number one trick you've been waiting for. This one is so useful, so potentially money-saving, that every single driver needs to know it exists. Trick number 1, diagnosing your car yourself technique. Your check engine light comes on. The dealership wants $150 for a diagnostic fee just to tell you what's wrong. Here's what experienced drivers know. For $20, you can buy a Bluetooth OBD2 scanner that plugs into your car's diagnostic port, usually under the steering wheel, connects to your smartphone, and tells you exactly what error code triggered that light. Download a free app like Torque or Blue Driver, and you've got mechanic-level diagnostic capabilities in your pocket. The scanner reads codes, tells you what they mean in plain English, monitors real-time sensor data, and can even clear codes after you fix the problem. But here's what makes this the most valuable $20 you'll ever spend on your car. Knowledge is power in automotive repair. When you know the specific problem code, you can Google it, watch YouTube videos, and decide if it's a DIY fix or actually needs professional help. No more getting scammed with $2,000 repair estimates for a loose gas cap. Seriously, code P0442 is often just that. Professional mechanics hate this tool because it eliminates their most profitable service, the diagnostic fee that leads to repair upsells. This $20 scanner has saved drivers thousands of dollars in unnecessary repairs and diagnostic fees. It works with virtually any car made after 1996. No expensive equipment, no special training required. Just plug it in, connect to your phone, and suddenly you're reading sensor data like a professional technician. How many hacks did you already know? Drop a comment below and let me know which one shocked you the most. If this video just saved you from expensive repair visits or taught you maintenance secrets that'll keep your car running for decades, hit that subscribe button for more money-saving content. Now, there are more secret hacks that mechanics keep hiding from you, but can allow you to save thousands of dollars quickly. Kindly click this video. Trust me, you'll be shocked.